Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Rick Marks. We're looking today, I wanted to review a little bit more around the mindset and looking at the fixed versus the growth mindset. And I've realized of recent that you can sometimes overlap, you can sometimes be fixed and sometimes growth. But a real revelation to me is in your younger years, like as a kid, you almost go through like the growth mindset because you're learning anyway. So having that learning, realizing that you can do more, you can be more, is sort of more, I guess, the mainstream natural pathway. And then you kind of bell curve to your young adult youth years where you think you know it all. Put it blandly, and I think that creates an element of competition, and I think that's generalizing a lot of these terms because there are always exceptions, but I think growing up, at least for myself, the competitiveness was there. There was always like that. You can do more, you can be more. But there was always someone better, or there was always someone smarter, or, And I think that created a little bit of like a fixed mindset of, well, I'll never be as smart as blah. When really, I guess, as you then go to the other side of that bell curve, you then get into 30s and older, and the mainstream is generally like you realize the race doesn't matter. Like, I went to my 10-year reunion for school, and that was obviously in the 20s at that point in age-wise. A lot of it was competitive, like, I'm doing well, I'm a success. So that was sort of like the undertone. Everyone was trying to prove they were being successful, they were on the path. At the 20-year reunion, I guess more of the talk was around family and happiness, and work sort of played into it, because I guess that's a core part of all of us is, we go to work, we do a job, and, we're happy. But I guess that was that thing, are you happy doing what you're doing? And it just, it makes me often think back around those childlike elements where you're taught to be, you can be anything you want, the world's your oyster. You get given all these concepts and ideas as a kid, I was anyway. And then you kind of become in that youth, young adult, where there's a ceiling that gets put in. Like, if you want to be a doctor, you got to study real hard, and it's probably too hard, so just find something else. Like, that's kind of often that way of thinking, rather than going, it's the reality is it's going to be hard, but life is hard. And I saw a really good meme about choosing your hard. Marriage is hard, but divorce is hard. Choose your hard. Like, you've always got that option of this or this, but you've got to pick which one, because they're both going to be hard, but you've got to choose which one, I guess, holds more value or holds more for you. So it kind of, this book's been really eye-opening, I guess, and looking at those concepts of you can be in both camps throughout in various areas. Everything will require effort. It's just generally a fixed mindset will require less effort, a lower effort, versus the risk. So whenever you're going to growth mindset, there's generally risk involved. You've got to put something on the line. You've got to get hungry for it. And that's why, I guess, like I've talked about before, a lot of entrepreneurs are quite growth mindset, because they're hungering, they're pursuing, and they're not settling. Whereas the fixed mindset is generally, I'm happy, I will be the best I can be at whatever, folding envelopes. And you master that, and that's that. Once you've mastered it, you use that almost as a status over others. So I'm the world's best envelope folder. And that equates to it. That's the end of the story. And I guess that's the thing that a lot of people in that fixed mindset don't realize, is that you've reached your cap. There's nowhere more for you to go. Versus the growth mindset, where you've learnt the art form and you've learnt the skill of being able to fold an envelope, and you may not be the best in the world, but does that matter to you? Versus the skills that you've learnt from that, the people and the contacts you've made from that, and then using that as a step to the next thing and work out what the next thing is. And so that's my challenge to you today as the viewers. Work out what is the next step. Work out what you've learnt from analysing the current, and then work out how you're going to launch forward into the next step. And then obviously take the leap, because more often than not we have like fog, and you're not seeing what's on that next step, and there's the risk, there's the unknown. It could be the edge of a cliff for all you know, and that's part of the joy, I guess, or part of the adventure, and that's how you know, if you see it that way, it makes it less daunting that you're going into the unknown. But yeah, hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and you'll see me in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.